dependable.
Okay.
And I think when you get down to it, the cost is gonna be, if we did a surface diversion, it's gonna be for the same reason.
Yeah, I read the report, I really liked it. I learned what it looks like the report is pretty much.
It absolutely is. I mean, you know, anyway, we're uniquely positioned to do some things that I don't think anywhere else in the basin they can do them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right.
And I'd like to, you said in the recommendations to move forward with studying them further and doing cost analysis, is that, did I get that correct in the recommendation?
Yeah.
I would personally support that. I think that that's a long-term more viable solution than trying to pipe in like nasty water or any of these other crazy things we read out of the GSP. No offense, Director Perrin.
No, I'm with you on it. I mean, it's legitimate,
Yeah.
but what are the alternatives as far as making this list for this report? I mean, you know, we're trying to address that, but no, believe me, I'm with you. It's preposterous to think Nacimiento water and then just put it in the ground. That's ridiculous to me.
Any other board comment? For the recycled water that you're trying to get, do we have any takers of wineries that are wanting it?
We've been in, not negotiations, but in discussions with a group of large vineyard owners right on the other side of the river that are very interested in it. And then we're also talking to a large vineyard owner on the west, to the west of us, on the other side of 101. Both of which are very interested in, both of them know that whatever the GSP, whatever, you know, version it finally makes it into print, there is going to be pumping curtailment requirements on large ag pumpers. So they know that they need, if they want to keep what their business viable in the conditions in today, they've got to find a replacement source of water. And we are one of the only places that it's going to be feasible and affordable. Now we're a pretty small player in the big picture. And we're going to produce, by the time the plant's done, we'll be producing about 200 acre-feet a year. And over the next probably 20 to 30 years, if the growth happens that we think is going to happen, that's probably going to more than double. That's still, it's a lot to us, and I think it's going to be a really good thing for us, both financially and for the groundwater sustainability of our part of the aquifer. But it's still not a drop in the bucket, but it's a pretty small chunk of the overall deficit in water production and water extraction.
It would definitely go a long way towards what we're consuming.
Oh,
pulling out
absolutely.
of the basin and counteracting that, and that's what
It's going to make.
I think ultimately they want to see.
Exactly, yeah. But yes, they've expressed strong interest in it, yeah.
And you said a DWR grant that you're waiting for. When do you think we'll hear from them?
Well, they've confirmed now that our application is complete. It's gone through the first phases of being processed at DWR. They told us that they were expecting that the release of funds, she told us, should not be any later than December. So that's what we've been told.
Under the rainy well concept area too, have any of the landowners been reached out to?
Under ring? Oh, no, there are some parcels that are identified in that report.
Yes.
We have not, those are all based on our analysis of soils and slopes and proximity to the river. We have not contacted or reached out to any of those property owners. So if they, it wouldn't surprise me if, some of the public sees that and goes, you didn't even come talk to us. We aren't quite ready to talk to them yet. So no, I have not reached out.
Okay, but if we move forward, that would be something that would happen early in the process.
Absolutely, yeah.
Can I ask a dumb question for Mr. Dodson for yourself? Because we keep talking about the sewer plant, and at our GSA meeting, I mentioned that nasty word about Camp Roberts and that thing. How much is that going to cost again, if we would ever consider that? And that was even feasible?
The connecting the two?
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly, it was several $1 million to connect the two.
Seven, it was under 10, 7, 6 or
Yeah,
7.
I don't remember exactly.
Mhm.
But if you're referring to sending our effluent there,
No.
that wasn't really an option.
No.
And then being on the receiving end, with the fluctuation in their flow, it wouldn't be really feasible for us to do that either.
Okay.
Especially given the cost to get a pipeline to us.
Mhm.
Because our plant would have to be significantly bigger,
Mhm.
pretty much to the max of what we'd be willing to accept. So if we were gonna take all their flow, I don't remember what their plant's rated for, but it's like 1 or 2 million.
Yeah, you'd have to be able to handle that surge,
So you have to be able to handle that.
Mhm.
the maximum.
So it really is not
It's not a feasible.
a very good option.
Just wanted to ask, get it out.
Any other board comment? You have any public comment? All right, we'll move on to item number 3. Take the blame.
Thanks, guys.
Support the staff recommendation.
Say again?
Was there a consensus to support the staff recommendation in this report?
I consent.
I can say.
I consent as well. So
There we have it.
you have consent to move forward with your recommendation in your report to study it further.
Perfect, all right, thank you very much.
All right, move on to item number 3.
Roman 3.
Yes.
Holy moly.
Send the kids to it, they're done.
So discussion on the status of Machado wastewater treatment facility expansion and aeration upgrade project. Mr. Dodds.
So you have the report, there's really not really much of an update from last month, just kind of the same information. The key point here is that in April, we pumped on average, daily average, 148,183 gallons per day, which is 74% of our hydraulic demand or design. And the max day was 172,622 gallons, which is 86% of our design. So we're definitely following on track with what the observation was by the water board. And the only final comment there is we have 1 year and 10 months before their anticipated doomsday. So that's all I had. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any board questions?
What happens if on a day you actually do hit 100% of hydraulic capacity? Just in theory.
You report it to the regulatory agency.
So we do, I don't want to say on a regular basis, but on really wet days, we do come close and sometimes meet that 200,000 gallon a day limit. Basically, what happens then is it just gets reported to the state that you met that. Every quarter, we report to the state our daily flows, so they know everything that happened anyway. So there's no sense in hiding anything, really. But nothing really happens. When it happens consistently is when they start having problems. If you start doing that consistently, or it's on a daily basis, then it really becomes a discretionary thing from them whether they decide that you're in violation or not. If it's something within your control, then it's more likely to be a violation.
Being at 100% hydraulic capacity, does that cause an SSO? Is that sewer lower backup?
Well, an SSO is a sanitary sewer overflow, which is generally directed towards manholes when you have a backup in a collection system.
Okay.
Technically, at the treatment plant, as long as it doesn't leave the treatment plant, it's not an SSO.
Okay.
So if our whole plant overflowed and it went into the river, that would be a gigantic SSO and definitely a violation.
Oh, that's SSO.
There would be a few extra meetings for you guys.
Water board will tell us the TFO. Any other board comment? Do you have any public comment? No. All right, we'll move on to item number 4. Adopt the resolution 2019-20 approving an employment agreement of the interim general manager, fire chief Robert Robertson, and authorizing the board president to execute and enter an agreement on behalf of the district and approve the fiscal year 2018-19 budget adjustment.
So can I ask, Steve, the boardroom will discuss this?
Say again?
Am I breaking it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Can I ask Rob to leave the boardroom while we discuss this item?
And we were like, what?
Oh, bye. I want to give the public the opportunity to speak on behalf of this item without feeling weird or nervous. Rob. Sorry, I can hear my echo right now.
We can hear you.
I think you're fine.
Okay, so before the board is an employment agreement for the interim general manager and fire chief. Both positions be exempt positions, meaning that they will not be subject to overtime. The contract itself will cost the district $74,117.76, and that is for both positions. Rob will not receive any benefit district, except for a uniform allowance and access to district vehicles. And in his contract, he will get a cost of living investment every year, not to exceed 4%. And the contract will be, so there's any questions,
Contract to be,
You're cutting out on us, Lane.
I'm sorry,
The contract would be, that's where we finished.
for 2 years.
Okay, thank
2
you.
years.
thank you. Your board comments or questions?
I think that this treatment for Rob is appropriate, and I think that he is a asset to the community that if it wasn't for agreements like this, we wouldn't be able to afford. And I appreciate and respect his expertise and competency.
I agree with that. I think that even at that, both positions are a bargain to the district, given the value and commitment he has to the community. That's all I have.
I would also agree with that. I know how much managers make in other size agencies, and we are very fortunate to have Mr. Roberson, our general manager. Also, the fact that he has he's lived in the community almost his entire life, so he has deep roots to the community and is assured to ensure that it does well in the future.
Yeah, I was in consequence the same thing that Anthony said, that if we would get another general manager, we'd pay much more.
Any other board comments? Any public comments?
Yeah, I just got one. I just wanna make sure I understand. We're just talking about Rob, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now, he's the interim, well, he's the fire chief and the interim general manager, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so now this 74,000, is that, cause I think like now the interim, he makes what, 40,000?
Yeah.
Interim, so basically, he's gonna still be the fire chief, but he's not gonna be the interim general manager, correct? He's gonna be the general manager,
Correct.
okay, so.
No, Helene?
Well,
No, he's still interim.
Huh?
He's still the interim.
Yes.
Okay, so, but, now, you're increasing his salary as the interim from 40 to 75,000, is that correct, or 74?
They're both together.
that's also covering his fire chief
Oh, okay.
position, so it's two positions.
Yeah, okay, well, don't get me wrong, I mean, I like Rob a lot, you know, I'm just trying to figure out where my money is going.
Sure.
Okay, so, okay, he was making 40,000. for the interim,
Only for the general manager position.
for the general
Didn't
manager.
include his responsibilities as fire chief.
Right, okay, now, he was getting paid for fire chief too, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, how much was he getting paid for fire chief?
23,000.
Helene?
23,106.
He was getting paid
Okay.
23,000.
Okay,
For
so
the fire
basically, he's,
She's answering.
taking both of them up to 75,000. He's basically getting, $15,000 to $20,000 raise. Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you bet.
Other public comment?
I'm not sure if I'm public or staff, so is this the proper time for me to say something?
Yes.
You would be staff.
Okay. I agree with you. You're getting a great value for what you're paying for the two positions, and Rob does put in a lot of time. He's a great mentor. He's a good friend, and he's a good member of the community. So you cannot go wrong. So thank you for your point of view.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just wanna know.
Any other public comment? Yes.
I just have to agree with what I've heard from everyone and would like to add my support to that and the fact that the district has had a super deal with Rob for the amount of money they paid for his interim period thus far. I'm surprised it's still interim, and maybe that's because it's sort of a part-time. But I think the entire, I've been here through every manager that has been. And Rob is by far a superior choice, not because of his expertise necessarily in operation of a district like that, but because of his true commitment to this community. And if that becomes reflected in all the staff, that would be amazing. So I'm 100% in favor of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment? No, back to the board.
I'll make a motion to approve the,
Should you bring it back in?
contract. Do we want to bring it up?
Okay, draw back in.
Or do you just want to approve it and
You
give
can
a round of
approve it.
applause?
Let's, since we have a motion,
Okay.
if we have a second.